They say I know nothing, but I do know that you can sell your skins for cash at bitskins.com.
Today we'll be taking a look at a round between G2 and SK on Inferno. At the start of the round, Kenny holds banana with the AWP, whilst BODYY throws a Molotov to prevent anyone from SK getting aggressive. Luckily, SK were passive this round on B, with 1 CT and 1 coils. This gave G2 lots of room to play with. MBK flashes middle and holds from Vietnam, and is backed up by BODYY once a Molotov is thrown. SHOX and Apex hold second mid to begin with, but no one actually clears into apartments before the execute. Kenny leaves banana to use his smoke at arch. This is purely used to bait out grenades from the SK side before they really commit. During this time, SHOX goes through Vietnam to throw a flash towards top banana in order to keep a presence there. You can see shortly after the flash, SK throws a Molotov as they have no information on how many could be approaching. SHOX moves back to refresh the same arch smoke, which is the catalyst to the execute onto the A site. After this is deployed, he clears apartments on his own and pressures balcony. 3 smokes are thrown from middle, together with some key pop flashes. These smokes land on the A site, splitting it in half, completely isolating anyone playing pit. G2 end up killing both Fallen and COLDZERA at quad off the back of the flashes and swarm into the site. SHOX already had information on Taco towards Grave, so Apex and BODYY push through their own smokes to catch him off and secure control of the site. Because SK played so aggressively and died at quad, we didn't really get to see the full execute play out, but I'm assuming with the wall of smoke that G2 would clear pit first and take the site after with their remaining Molotovs. They could even potentially try for a cheeky plant within the smokes, but this is a huge risk given there are positions that they can't clear out that could spam them down. MBK would take the lurk roll towards arch like he did this round, but most likely at a much slower pace. It's a great setup to methodically take control of A site, but the way G2 runs it leaves great risk if the enemy team decides to play aggressive banana or apartments. SHOX holds second middle at the start of the round. He holds apartments until Kenny rotates over to throw the first arch smoke. Notice how he doesn't risk clearing apartments on his own, as he has a crucial smoke to throw for the execute. Whilst Kenny throws the first arch smoke, he rotates back to banana and puts out a flash to maintain presence at B. He then throws this same arch smoke like so, and proceeds to clear apartments on his own. He doesn't overextend here and even manages to get early information on Taco's position at Grave. In the end, he doesn't have to exit balcony as the round is already won, but notice how he still has a Molotov and a flash that would have no doubt been used to help his team take control of pit. Apex also holds second mid and throws down spam towards the apartments. This is to stop any CTs pushing aggressively. He also grenades into boiler with the same intention of just pushing back anyone out of apartments. After this, he gets in position to do his smoke for the main execute, where SHOX throws the second smoke for arch. Apex's smoke lands in front of the ninja box and is a walk throw. It might look complicated, but the lineups are pretty simple. He runs out middle off the back of MBK's pop flash and cleans up on COLDZERA. As Apex enters the site, he already knows Taco was towards Grave and tries to Molotov it, but unfortunately it does get extinguished by the smoke. It doesn't really matter though, as Taco had moved towards site and he ends up killing him from the side to secure the round. Like I mentioned before, the only reason Apex pushes the wall of smoke is that they killed 2 really fast at quad and he had info of Taco being at Grave, so it makes sense to take the risk in that scenario. If we pause around here and go back to where Apex throws his own flash, you'll see the idea behind it. This flash is just a bad one to get the enemy to turn, and then look back at the real pop flash which is thrown by MBK. This setup can also work when people play counter flash and peek after the first one goes off, only to be fully blind. MBK flashes middle to push off any aggressive AWPers and holds from Vietnam. He stays in this position until the execute comes in, with his smoke fill behind default and the perfect pop flash for everyone to push quad. His role is to lurk arch, and I can only assume that because they killed 2 on A already, he picks up the pace and runs straight through the arch smoke to gain more ground in order to cut off the rotations. If you go back just a little bit, you can see how he was very close on catching the timing with Fur at spawn, but in the end the remainder of SK attempt to save and not actually fight in a 2 vs 5. Kenny S holds banana with the AWP. He does this for a good period of time until SHOX calls for him to throw the first arch smoke. Like I said before, this smoke is just a reactionary one to bait out nades from SK. After he's done that, it's his job to cover any pushes at apartments until SHOX gets back into position. As the execute comes in, he throws 2 flashes over the top of A site which blind Taco. He goes in behind the riflers at quad, and with the info of Taco's positioning, grenades grave. He doesn't really have to do anything at this point as the round is already won. BODYY throws his Molotov at the top of banana. This is again to stop SK pushing for information and getting aggressive. After that, he steps up at middle to prepare his smoke for close grave. When the execute does begin, he's straight behind Apex through top middle, bagging the kill onto Fallen. You can see he's spamming grave so much because of SHOX's information on Taco. He makes sure that he always sticks with Apex to guarantee a tray kill, but it's not needed in this case with everyone staying alive. Fallen holds middle with the AWP from quad. He's playing contact whilst COLDZERA is playing counter flash, and Taco is ready with a flash of his own for anyone coming out mid. He simply gets caught by the second flash out of middle from MBK and is taken down by BODYY. COLDZERA plays tucked in at quad anti-flash and actually manages to dodge both flashes, but loses the duel to Apex running out the smoke. Taco holds apartments from grave, but also has a flash primed to help Fallen and Cold at quad. This flash lands above quad and allows them to still fight without getting blind. Unfortunately, he does miss the timing and lets it go too early, having 0 effect on the G2 side. As a wall of smoke comes in, it blocks his view at grave, and he also gets blinded by Kenyes's high flash over the roof. At this point, he has repositioned to a safer spot, but he didn't expect the push through the smoke from Apex and gets rushed down. In theory, the CT setup from SK here was a good one, but with COLDZERA failing his aim duel and Taco not timing the flash correctly, it meant G2 were just able to bulldoze their way into the site at lightning speed. For more strat breakdowns similar to this one, make sure you do subscribe. Also check out the playlist to see previous content that I've made, and be sure to leave me some feedback.